Hello everyone and welcome to the Moroccan English Club. Today's video is part of skills work from the middle school students book Focus. It deals with common writing mistakes, part 1. The objectives of this video are to check and correct some of the students' most common writing mistakes and to provide some writing tips for third year middle school students. So, let's begin. Writing is a productive skill, مهارة إنتاجية, which means when we write, we produce something. When we learn a language, writing is usually the fourth language skill after reading, listening, and speaking. Writing is not an easy task. Grammar mistakes are the first type of common writing mistakes. At this level, and as students are learning English for the first time, it is quite natural that students make grammatical mistakes. Grammar is not easy and it requires continuous practice and time. These examples show that students have problems with grammar, mostly with parts of speech. It is quite common that students forget to add the verb, or that they become confused between the full form and the contracted form of verb to be. Also, they may add a verb to the verb to be, as they have been learning verb to be for 2 units. Also, it is quite common that students forget to add the indefinite article e and instead replace it with an s. Students may confuse nouns and adjectives, and also the influence of their native language is quite clear as they confuse some words with others, like in the last example. This is an actual example of a student's paragraph. The student mixes both forms of verb to be, then in the second sentence she writes the correct form. Again she goes back and mixes both forms. In the fourth sentence she seems to be confused between nouns and adjectives, and she forgot to add the indefinite article and she used s instead. Also, at this level, it is quite normal that students come up with totally ungrammatical sentences. Punctuation mistakes are the second type of mistakes that students make while writing. Punctuation deals with capitalization and with punctuation marks. In these examples, we can see that the students do not respect capitalization rules, and also the impact of the modern Arabic is quite clear in the last sentence, as they are repeating the word and for multiple times in the same sentence instead of using punctuation marks. In this paragraph, we can see that the student has respected capitalization rules, but then forgot to use punctuation marks. Spelling mistakes are the third and last writing mistakes I'll be talking about in this video. In these examples, we can see that the students have no idea about spelling rules in English and that they write the words as they hear them, as they are influenced by the French language, which is the first foreign language they learn at school. Finally, this is a good example of a correct short paragraph. Then, what are the writing tips that third year middle school students may follow to have a better writing experience? A first advice is to keep the sentences short and simple. we need to remember that the longer the sentence is, the more mistakes it has. Also, when writing, we need to stick to the same form, whether the full form or the short form of the verb. But it is preferable to keep to the full form of the verbs when writing. Most importantly, students need to read in order to write. The more they read, the better their writing would be. Reading equips us with the correct structures and with rich vocabulary. I hope that these tips would be helpful in your writing assignments, and stay tuned for more videos.